Holy smokus, it ain't no jokus. XRP holders, Trump just did the unthinkable, and XRP liquidity just dropped to its lowest level. What does this mean for XRP, and what does this mean for the crypto market? Please read the disclaimer. Hello, beautiful people. Shalom, moneymakers. Let's try to get 1,000 likes on this video. I know you guys can do it. I'm going to give you a stinky face. I'm sorry, that was very bad. Breaking oil prices, reverse losses as and rise towards $95 per barrel as U.S. military strikes in Iran increase uncertainty around the peace deal. Things are very uncertain right now. And we got the news that President Trump will convene a rare cabinet meeting at Camp David on Wednesday as negotiations with Iran enter a critical phase. All cabinet members are expected to attend the meeting. Fox News has confirmed, including outgoing director of the National Intelligence Agency, Tulsi Gabbard. The gathering comes as the administration weighs next steps in high-stakes negotiation aimed to securing a broader agreement with Tehran amid a fraying ceasefire. This is something very rare. President Trump does not like Camp David. He usually doesn't meet there. So the fact that he is calling everybody to come to Camp David is a very unusual situation. And it's very interesting that this is coming, as negotiations kind of stall and as oil prices are popping. I wonder what he is going to tell them. What is he going to say to them? What is he going to ask them their opinions about? Should he do this? Should he do that? I think that's going to happen. I think it's much easier to convene all of them, all the cabinet members at Camp David, than it is to bring all of them and sit in the Oval Office. It's a small office still, and they all have their aides and everything, right? They're still members of the cabinet, secretaries, Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, Secretary of War, that's his name right now, right? And all the other secretaries. And so it will be very interesting to see what happens there and how this potentially affect things, because we know that the longer this goes on, the higher oil prices stay, and then the lower the probability that interest rates will come down, and the lower probability that the crypto market will flourish with high interest rates. So this will be very interesting to see what happens. And on that, XRP and the rest of the crypto market has pulled back a little bit. Again, it's not just XRP that pulled back, Bitcoin pulled back as well. Ethereum almost under 2,000 level, which it hasn't been in a while. So that's interesting. It did drop down on this day, Saturday, May 23rd, under 2,000, but that's a level that it has held since back in the beginning of April. So it will be very interesting to see what happens here with XRP and with the rest of the crypto market. As, like I said, oil prices did pop after going lower down to 89. They're now back to 94. The stock market is actually doing good today. Lots of stocks are up, but as you can see, the S&P 500 is down 0.5% here. That's interesting why it says 0.5%. It's actually up 0.44%, and the NASDAQ is up 1.5%. So it's interesting situation right now in the crypto market. Why the crypto market continues to sell off? It's just there's a lot of big stocks that have been flourishing today. So that's holding like a Micron. And I talk about Micron significantly in the stock video up on the stock channel. So if you're interested in that, we talk about what's going on there and why it's up almost 20% today. And so there's a lot of liquidity going there right now. And the crypto market is suffering right now. As always, I just want to remind you that this video is for educational purposes, for entertainment purposes only, not financial advice. Always do your own due diligence before you decide to invest. So this is interesting insight. XRP liquidity on Binance has fallen to its lowest level since January of 2020, according to CryptoQuant. So this is a situation where people are taking their assets off exchanges. There can be multiple reasons why that is happening. But that will create low liquidity on exchanges, and then potentially, if there is a flight to XRP and prices start coming up, then the exchanges might scramble to get XRP, and that could potentially push the price up significantly, Um, we'll see how this will affect long term, but usually when you have a low liquidity, sorry, a low level on exchange, it tends to mean that people do not want to sell the asset. Big whales don't want to sell the asset. We saw recently, a few days ago, that the amount of whales is actually upticking and the amount of new wallets are upticking for XRP, but the price action is dropping. And this is interesting. So either the algos are manipulating it and people are adding, but the algos are just taking it down, doing a short ladder attack or something that is pulling the price down, or actually people are selling. And it's interesting, you'd say to yourself, well, why would people be selling right now? Wouldn't the sentiment be basically at its lowest levels? We are not at extreme fear, but fear has been getting better. We were in double digits back a few months ago, but I don't seem to think there's a lot of confidence right now in the crypto market. Like in March, we were at 8, 11. Remember what was going on there? If we look, XRP's price is not that far off. So if we go and we look when we were having extreme fear, March, right? The end of March, beginning of April, end of March, beginning of April, we were at similar prices. Bitcoin was around 65,000. So Bitcoin has held price action a lot better than XRP, and it could be multiple reasons. It could be because of strategy and them continuing to buy XRP. They actually announced today that they had just spent 1.38 billion, nearly 60% of their entire cash reserves to buy back its own debt at discount. Strategy borrowed money years ago by issuing convertible notes due in 2029, and those notes are now trading below face value. So instead of waiting for 2029 to pay them back, Strategy bought them back today at a cheaper rate. It's a smart move on paper. We'll see what could potentially happen with them. They now have roughly 878 million in cash left, so they don't have a lot of cash to potentially buy more Bitcoin. So that's going to be interesting to see what they do. Does he start selling more stock in order to buy more Bitcoin? The company holds 843,000 Bitcoin, almost a million Bitcoin, worth 64.8 billion. Just spent nearly 61% of its cash on debt cleanup. If Bitcoin drops sharply, their margin situation tightens, and that 860 million buffer is all that stands between them and potentially having to liquidate some of their assets. We'll see. That could put pressure on the crypto market as well. So maybe that announcement is freaking out the market a little bit as well. This is interesting. The 2.5 trillion crypto industry has bet on a handful of candidates in tonight's closely watched Texas primary runoffs, with crypto-based PACs deploying money into some of the state's most competitive races. So we have money, and I'm not going to go over this unless you're in Texas and you're interested. I don't know how many of you are from Texas, but I just wanted to bring to you to show you that money is coming in from crypto PACs, and crypto is a big part of this race and the midterm elections. And it will be very interesting to see if any races get affected by the crypto market, meaning a candidate that is more pro-crypto wins because of that. So that is going to be very interesting to see if that happens. I just saw on the side there that Ripple was trending. So I was like, I'm going to click on it. And it says Ripple has been named one of the Fortune's best workplaces in the Bay Area for 2026. So interesting. I don't work for Ripple, although people in the comment section are like, are Ripple, sponsoring you, right, for your videos? No, they are not. And I do not work for them. But that's just interesting that they have been named one of the best workplaces. It seems like Brad is a good boss. I don't know, but it seems like that. It will be very interesting to see what happens here. Price action. I'm looking now at XRP, and we talked about this actually a few days ago, and then XRP kind of recovered. But now that it's sold off a little bit, so this has come to the table again. The potential of XRP dropping here to 127, which is the support level. Again, we did have the 5th and the 6th of February where we dropped under, and 111 was the bottom there. But right now, I think the next support level would be 127 a range, and then the 111. So I will be interested to see if that can potentially break out. And again, for Bitcoin, and I think Bitcoin will fuel a lot of what's happening right now in the crypto market, the next support is 73,816. And if it breaks that, then we could potentially drop to the previous all-time high for 2021, which has been a support level previously at 60, almost 69,000. And then that's what I'm going to be watching in that potential of some relief. I wonder if we can get a Fibonacci on this and actually see a Fibonacci retracement and see potentially where the levels. So you can see it's funny because the levels, it's maybe hard to see on your phones. And I do, if I do this, it removes everything. I do have all those levels there, but I don't know if you guys can see, but the Fibonacci, right, the 50% there is right on the support level here. And actually the 38 level is where we are right now and where it's holding. So that will be very interesting to see. XRP, because how it is, it's not really, there's no real Fibonacci to run here. Maybe you could go from here to here, here to here. There's not really a pure Fibonacci potential retracement there like there is for Bitcoin there. So that's why I didn't pull it. But again, those levels could be very interesting for Bitcoin going forward. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Ooh, let's see, the technicals. Wow, so we're getting a strong sell there. This is Bitcoin. Most of the short term, the 50, the 100, even the 10, the 20, with the sell, only the simple moving on the 100 is a buy. Ichimoku base is always neutral. And oscillators all neutral sell. What about XRP? Yeah, similar. Everything is sell and only in Chibuku base is neutral. Remember, usually when we have those strong sell or sell all across the board, that's usually the low level. We've seen this many times. And also the opposite, when we get strong buy, there's a high probability that XRP or the asset is going to sell off. So there's a probability that if everything goes to plan, the war ends, Clarity Act passes, we could have a very strong springboard here for the crypto market, and it will be very interesting to see how all of it plays out. Don't forget to smash the like button. Did we get 1,000 likes on this video? Let's check it out. Check it out. Are you 999? Thank you for watching. I hope to see you next time. And like I always say, I'm slouching a little bit. I got too comfortable in my chair. Let's make a lot of money.